We got a little bit more cutscene going on here, so we'll go through that. Oh, I guess not. You can now view the status of party members from the main menu, which you already know that. Roxas' abilities and money have been passed on to Sora. Same thing, yeah, same thing is true with the abilities. Any abilities that you equipped on Roxas, like scan or aerial recovery, things of that sort, they're automatically equipped to Sora, or automatically given to Sora, and automatically equipped right away. Jimmy's journal we're already aware of. Okay. We can't actually go back into the mansion right now because the mansion doors are closed. But what we can do is we can actually go back and open some chests. A potion. And a mithril shard. Okay, before we actually leave this area, as I said, you can't go back into the mansion. I've got stuff to do. We can't go back in, much as we'd like to. Weird dancing do there. Before we actually proceed any further on with the plot, I do want to explain. I want to explain the prologue to you guys. Now that we've got Sora back, you may be a little bit curious, a little bit confused about what's going on. So I'm going to take a few moments here to explain it. If you don't care, or you already know or fully understand the story, whatever, feel free to skip ahead a few minutes or whatever. But for those who may be confused, I want to explain it to you in case you don't understand. This is how I got a grasp on the game. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close to accurate, but I may be off on a couple of details here and there, but this is the best that I understand it. The reason we started the game as Roxas is because Sora was asleep in Castle Oblivion. During the events of Chain of Memories, right after the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, we saw Sora, Donald, and Goofy running through that valley, running through the plains, chasing after Pluto, who had some mail. Now, a little envelope with the King sticker on it. I don't know if they ever actually caught Pluto or not. That much I'm not aware of. But eventually, going down that path, Sora, Donald, Roxas, and Goofy. Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up coming across a guy from Organization 13. He comes. You don't see his face because he's a hooded. He keeps his hood up, but he comes across one of those hooded figures. Sora does. That hooded figure turns out to be Marluxia. He was a member of Organization 13, and he was head of a kind of a separate group of Organization 13 members. They were all part of the same organization, but Marluxia led a small group of them on his own kind of mission in a place called Castle Oblivion. And the Chain of Memories, everything that happens in Chain of Memories happens within Castle Oblivion. Inside Castle Oblivion, Sora's abilities are reduced to nothing but cards. Literally, the entire game is an action card game. No matter, with the exception of something simple like jumping, everything that you do in the game, your attacks, any summons, any magic, anything you do, except defense and movement, is all based on cards. And some of these cards are unlocked through Sora's memories, and that gives him access to the worlds that he visited in Kingdom Hearts 1. And he can visit all the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1. Atlantica, Halloween Town, all the worlds of Halloween Town. You start in Traverse Town, and you see the Final Fantasy characters, and you talk to them and stuff like that. Squall, Eris, and Sid, and Yuffie, and all that. And what's going on in Castle Oblivion is Naminé is under the control of the organization members being led by Marluxia. Actually, before I continue that, I want to go back just a second here. During that flashback we saw where the camera was panning around the room of organization members, and you saw some of the organization members with their hood up, some of them with their hood down, exposing their faces. With the exception of Roxas and Axel, every one of those members that you saw that had their hoods down, exposing their heads, those were the ones that were part of Marluxia's crew, and with the exception of Roxas and Axel, were killed during the events of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So Organization 13 has 13 members of the organization, but they're now down by, I believe it's 5 or 6, I forget, because those are the ones that were killed or destroyed, defeated, however you want to call them, during the events of Chain of Memories. including Marluxia, the leader. The only organization member to come out of the Castle Oblivion not destroyed was obviously Axel, and then Roxas went a different way. But going back to what I was saying, Naminé was rearranging Sora's memories because that's what the organization members led by Marluxia was ordering her to do. She was changing his memories to fit what organization members wanted him to remember, which was causing him to forget Kairi and basically replace Kairi with Naminé. Because I believe they wanted to try to convince, I think their ultimate goal was to try to convince Sora to join them in some way. I forget exactly how the rest of that goes because I only played Chain of Memories a couple of times, and I had to play the game with cheats on because the game just got extremely difficult. I really wanted to finish the story and try to understand what they wanted, so I don't have a full grip on the story. Because Chain of Memories is a really bad game. You guys saw my montage, and that was just a brief glimpse of the troubles that I had. I didn't show you everything, but I had a lot of trouble in that game, and I didn't finish it. I stopped there. You saw that one episode? I stopped after I couldn't defeat Vexen, and you had to fight him multiple times. It's just I could go into a long diatribe about how bad that game is, but that would take me probably 10 episodes of time, so I don't want to do that. I'll just get back to the story. But Naminé was changing around Sora's memories, causing him to forget Kairi altogether, replacing that memory with Naminé. And at the end of the game, to kind of fast forward to the end of the game, Naminé tells Sora that she was controlled by the organization members, and had told him that she had changed his memories around. Diz, which you saw, the character voiced by Christopher Lee, that character appeared somewhere in the game and basically helped free Naminé alongside Sora. And now with Diz's more kind, despite how it looked, a little more kind guidance than what the organization members were doing, Naminé had decided to put Sora's memories back the way they were. And that was the entire thing we were seeing whenever it would flash to the flashbacks to Kingdom Hearts 1, and you see the events on Destiny Island, and you go to the events of Hollow Bastion, and the events at the end of the world, and you see restoration at such and such a percent. That was what we're seeing there, was Naminé restoring Sora's memories, and it took about a year to do exactly that. So the events at the end of Chain of Memories to the beginning here of Kingdom Hearts 2 is right about 1 year. So now Sora and Kairi are 15, and Riku is 16. Now, as far as Roxas' side of the story, Roxas... Okay, I can't explain too much there because we're going to explain that in just a little bit. So I can't really explain that part there, but I'll try to see if I can explain some of it without getting too spoilery. They said that Roxas was half of Sora's power, which is true. Roxas engaged in a fight with Riku. We saw that much. Riku was the one wearing the blindfold. And during that fight, even though it looked like, we saw Roxas knock Riku down. And even though in a scene later we see Riku knock Roxas back down, that wasn't enough to defeat him. Roxas still ended up defeating Riku. Eventually, Ansem comes into the picture. I won't spoil how, but Ansem from Kingdom Hearts 1, or the one we fought at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, the bad guy, comes into the picture and takes Roxas to Diz. Then when we saw that scene where Roxas was sitting down in his suit, and Diz and Ansem were talking, and they said that how the conversation go. They said that he holds half of Sora's power within him. That in the end, I'll have to give it back. But for now, Roxas will need a new personality to throw off his pursuers. Remember, the organization members and those white jumpsuit guys were pursuing Roxas. Well, what they did is they took Roxas and they turned him into a simulation, essentially, and they put him in probably the closest analogy that I could give you would be kind of a Star Trek reference. They put him in a hologram. They put him in a holographic environment, and they recreated Twilight Town, which is where we are now, and recreated a holographic Twilight Town and put Roxas in it and changed his personality to have those friends where he was in that gang with Hayner, Pence, and Olette. And that was the first day when we saw Roxas wake up, and then it said the first day and all that stuff. That happened right after that he got, that light surrounded him, and he got sucked up into that machine at the end of that little cut, that flashback there. That was the beginning of the first day, and then we started the game on the first day. So that's how that all connects together. As Naminé was restoring Sora's memories, that was also affecting Roxas as well, connecting his heart to Kairi and all that, which we saw and all that stuff. And then on the fifth day, Sora's memories were all ready to go and everything. On the final day, I should say, Sora's memories had been restored. Naminé was done with what she had done, and Diz guided Roxas to the castle, because in the castle, Diz had somehow taken Sora, Donald, and Goofy from Castle Oblivion and put them in the mansion in that basement. And in order for Sora to get Roxas half of his power, he had to be within proximity of him, and that's what Diz was doing. Diz was guiding Roxas to Sora's pod in order for Roxas to give his power back to Sora, and now that's where we are. Now Sora is whole again as a whole person, and now we're able to continue the game as Sora. And that's what we're going to do now. So I hope that I know there's still some holes in what I explained, and I don't want to explain some of those holes because there will be spoilers for events that will be explained later, like how Ansem just happened to be in the picture, what happened to Riku, things of that sort. I don't want to explain those right now because there's still those are going to be explained a little bit later in the game. And when those are explained, then I'll take those moments and fill in those holes. So don't worry, I'm not done explaining things yet, but I hope that helps you figure out a little bit more about this game, because I'll admit, when I first played Kingdom Hearts 2, I didn't play any of Chain of Memories before that, so I had no clue who this Roxas kid was, what relation he had to Sora, other than he holds half of Sora's power within him. Why and how, I didn't understand that. But it's a little more understandable as long as you have somebody to explain it to you, which luckily I did, and so that's what I'm trying to do for you guys. I'm trying to help explain that. Okay, with that done, let's talk to Donald and Goofy real quick. Don't go back to the mansion, you may fall asleep again. Besides, we should check out what this kind of place this is. I'm excited. Donald? You were asleep for so long, you still be maybe kind of dazed, Sora. Don't worry, if you forget what you have to do, just check Jiminy's journal. Okay. Alright, we are at the mansion. Obviously, we need to head back into town, but it's not going to be, we don't have to do any traveling. Once we actually leave the mansion, we're going to go right into Twilight Town, right to the usual spot where Hayner, Pence, and Olette are. But the difference is we're actually in the real Twilight Town.
I think I've been to this town.
What's it called?
Guess I must have imagined it.
There's a reason why he recognizes the town. But we're in the real version of Twilight Town, whereas, like I said, Roxas was in basically a holographic recreation of the town.
What do you want?
Nothing. Just wondering what was back here.
Now you know. This is our spot.
What?
You're new around here, right? I'm Pence.
Hayner, nice to meet you. But we got stuff to do, so catch you later.
My name's Olette. Hey, did you finish up the summer homework yet? Independent studies are the worst, huh?
Homework?
Yeah.
Hey,
Sora hasn't been to
what are
school
your
in a year.
Oh, sorry. Where's Sora, Donald, and Goofy?
Hey there.
Sora, Donald, Goofy. We just met someone who was looking for you.
Oh, really?
He sure seemed in a hurry. He had a black coat on, so I couldn't see his face.
An organization member.
But he had these big round ears.
An organization member.
Where'd you see him?
At the station.
The station, thanks.
Well, you'd better get back to that assignment.
Later.
Oh boy, the kid's trying to find us.
Yeah, let's get to the station.
All right, I'm going to throw in a save here, and I will be right back. We'll head to the station. All right, all saved up. So for where Pence and Olette were talking. Welcome to Twilight Town. I'm just curious what's around here. I've never actually looked at this stuff before. Welcome to Twilight Town. Okay. Hainer is written on small letters on the darts. What darts? I don't see any darts on this board. All right. Let's head to the station. Oh, I thought they were busy. We have to do our homework. You got time. Why don't you get a job? Oh, wait. I don't think anyone's hiring right now. Yeah, the guy looking for you is at the station. It's at the top of the station heights. You should see what he wants. Yeah, the job boards that you could do here as Roxas aren't available to Sora right now. We can eventually come back here and do them, but for now, they're not available to us. If you want to know about this town, go to the Sandlot. We're busy. I'm sure Cypher's bunch will accommodate you. I'm sure he will. You know what? We're going to go accommodate him then. Let's go talk to Cypher.
Hey, you. Where'd you come from? You here to pick a fight with us or something?
Fight? We're not here to fight.
Yeah, you big palooka.
Way to egg him on,
Okay,
Donald.
Smart Alex. Time to teach you how to behave in my town. Bring it.
Man, what a jerk.
Oh, if only you knew.
One moment. If you're gonna fight, why not make it a proper struggle?
What?
You see, Cypher, I'm a really big fan.
What? What do you want?
In other words, I want to see more of your super cool moves. You handled the tournament with real style, and you absolutely dominated the title match. But I just can't get enough. Don't you see? The matches are far too short. And what's your name?
Sora.
Sora. If you want to fight a match, you just say the word.
We can't really do much here. Remember, this is the real Twilight Town. So in the real Twilight Town, while we had the struggle in the simulated world, the tournament they had in the real world, apparently Cypher won it. So, I don't really get what I'm supposed to do here. I don't know how I'm supposed to actually... I mean, I can do the first fight against Hainer. Preparing for Struggle Battle R, which I believe is just against Hainer. We're going to fight. Great. First, like test your ability, but you don't have any opponents for you. You have to wait. Meanwhile, practice. Okay, I guess I can't do it now, but I thought I could actually fight somebody here in the struggle. Instant annihilation. Well, I'm sure. Not you. This guy. I don't know who you are, but you don't stand a chance struggling against Cypher. You know. Whether brawling or struggling, I'm not going to lose to the likes of you. Why don't you come back 10 years from now? How interesting that your equal, which is Squall, is about 10 years older than you right now. Okay. Apparently the fan of Cypher's now got the jiggles. What the fuck is wrong with that? Okay. We need to head to the station, that's right. Okay. Tram Common. Now before we actually head to the station, I'm going to explore around here and try to find some chests. I know there's some around here. Like this one. High potion here. Nope, go down. tent. Jump over here. Up here. Jump over here. There we go. AP boost, excuse me. And a potion. Alright, anything else around here? There's where the junk piles are. The chests up here. Oh, one way over there. Alright. Oh, I fell off. Let's see if I can get it. I can jump on this, right? Nope. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay, there we go. Alright. Nope. Oh, wait. Let's go over here. Hup. There we go. And then up here. There we go. We got a mithril shard. Okay. The chest over there. Oh, fuck. Try that again without missing. Another mithril shard.